So Naomi's pregnant. And that's very exciting. That's very fantastic to hear. Congratulations to Naomi. But that begs the question of what's going to happen with the WWE Women's Heavyweight scene on Raw. So that's what this video is going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about, what could have happened and what I would love to see in terms of developing like a great storyline of who's going to be the next champion, but also some different names that I think is going to be eligible for that championship. So with that being said, if you guys love my YouTube channel, if you guys love the content that I post, please don't be afraid to drop a like. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Don't be afraid to share this video with some people that you love and appreciate, that I know would love wrestling. So with that being said, let's get into it. So first off, I know they're not going to do any of these because it's too late, and Naomi's pregnancy was unexpected. So what I would have loved to see was like a tournament type of style. I would love to see a tournament. We haven't seen a tournament in such a long time in terms of a title. We've seen a tournament for the King and Queen of the Ring, but we've never seen a championship to win a title. A tournament to win a title in such a long time. So what I would have loved to see was a tournament style, have people from NXT, have people from SmackDown, obviously have people from Raw come on in to do like this big tournament on one big PLE. That would be great. That would be fantastic. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen because WWE wants to monetize different wrestlers, wants to show different wrestlers on different PLEs. That's never going to happen. We'll probably see that maybe on an episode of Raw, episode of SmackDown, but on a PLE, not going to happen. We're not going to see a tournament to see who's going to be the next champion. The second thing that I would love to see was a battle royal like they did last year for Becky Lynch when she won the women's heavyweight title. Again, I think it's a little bit too late. You can't really predict someone's pregnancy or anything like that. So I think that this isn't really going to happen. But also, again, now thinking about it, it doesn't really make sense too, because if they have a battle royal, does the person with the battle royal win the title? Then does Stephanie have the first match against her at Clash in Paris? They could do that. Or whoever wins the battle royal has a #1 contendership match at Clash in Paris to go for another like big PLE event or something like that. I don't know. Again, that doesn't make any sense. So the battle royal, we'll scratch that too. What I think is going to happen is probably a triple threat match or a fatal four-way match over at Clash in Paris, just because they need to have a match on the card, but also they need to honor and respect Stephanie's win. So I think they're going to have a fatal four-way, if that makes sense. So going into it, there's different names that you can really have an argument with and have an argument towards. You can have a double champion Becky Lynch. I personally would not like to see that. I would love to see Becky Lynch just focus on the intercontinental scene, developing new stars, introducing new people, even like reintroducing people with Nikki Bella. And so I think she's going to be focused on the Intercontinental Championship, which I would prefer. I mean, she's doing great heel work right now. She's obnoxious. She's a piece of shit. She's annoying to watch, annoying to look on my screen. So she's doing her job as a heel. I don't necessarily think that they would pull the trigger on a double champ Becky at the moment, just because, again, with her where she's at storyline wise, it doesn't make sense. So Becky Lynch being a double champion, maybe later, a bit later, but at this point I think she's focused on the Intercontinental Champion with Nikki Bella. So we might even see that on the Clash in Paris card. We could also see a returning Liv Morgan. I don't think that I don't think the chances of this happening is very fucking slim. We might see this a little bit later down the year, but I think the timeline of her shoulder injury doesn't make sense. It's a little bit too early. It might even just be like super fresh, like 2 or 3 months. So she still might be in rehab, in the beginning stages of rehab, to make sure that her shoulder is up to date. You can be able to use her shoulder. So it would be interesting to see how Liv Morgan would have interacted with the crew, with the Judgment Day, if she did win the title, to see if Raquel would have, stayed with her, if Raquel would have, stayed with Roxanne Perez and the New Judgment Day to see how Liv Morgan was going to interact with Dominic and Finn Balor. There's a lot of different stories that you could have told with the returning Liv Morgan winning that title, or at least having a championship title match. Again, I just think it's a little bit too early because of Liv Morgan's, injury. You could always have a Rhea Ripley in the match. Rhea Ripley is, in my opinion, like, reliable. She gets a great pop. She's popular with the crowd. Personally, for me, I wouldn't want to see a Rhea Ripley part of the world title scene at the moment, just because she's always part of the world title scene. I feel like she's on a fast track of being Charlotte, of pretty much, exclusively going for the world titles and not going for the Intercontinental title, not going for the United States title, just because she's Rhea Ripley. It's one of those things where, like, if you just, like, the Money in the Bank briefcase, if you just hide the Money in the Bank briefcase for a while and you don't do your stupid, like, tease cash-ins that Triple H loves to do, you have this insane pop when that person's music hits, and you're going to be able to capitalize on that pop, capitalize on that opportunity. If you have a 6-time women's world heavyweight title, Rhea Ripley, if they have her win that shit 6 times in like 2-3 years, like, of course we're all gonna get fucking sick and tired of that shit. We're not gonna want to see a Rhea Ripley holding the title 6-7 times in 2 years. Like, again, it doesn't make sense. They could also have a heel Bailey. Bailey's obviously having a Bailey is obviously having having a baby. I mixed up Naomi and Bailey, but Bailey is in the midst of a character change. She got snubbed, and she got snubbed on SummerSlam and having a match at SummerSlam, but also Becky took her spot at WrestleMania, her big time spot at WrestleMania. So she lost her spots for both big time matches here over on WWE. So with her different cameos, with her different character work, with her different backstage segments, with the vignettes that they're doing with Bailey, it leans towards her being healed because she's second guessing herself, and you're seeing a drastic change with Bailey's character. Do I necessarily want to see Bailey win the title? If the heel character is great, then sure, give her the title. But again, it doesn't make sense currently, just because it might be too fast. I personally would love to see Bailey have her character cook just a little bit more inside the oven, just to make sure that her character is set to go and there's not any flops, and she's ready to take on the world title as well too. So let it cook a little bit. I wouldn't want to see heel Bailey. This is going to be fantastic. I don't think we'll see. A lot of people are saying that, like, Lyra might even go for the title again. Please just have her go against, like, the Intercontinental title, or even just have her take a little bit of a break, maybe even go for the United States Championship. I don't think that she's built up enough to justify to go for the world title, in my opinion. I think she still needs to cook a little bit more. So Lyra, it would be cool to maybe have her go down to SmackDown and face Julia, to have a babyface Lyra and a heel Julia. That would be great. Fantastic match over on SmackDown. So we have Nia Jax, and Nia Jax is one of those people that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, because Nia Jax is having a program once again with fucking Tiffany, and it's like, oh my god, please stop doing a program with fucking Tiffany. I don't want to see that shit anymore. We've seen that shit three separate times. Like, come on. And then, like, Jade is coming out of nowhere saying, like, I want my rematch. But it's like, Jade, you won Queen of the Ring and you fucking lost clean. So, like, get to the back of the line. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you lost your fucking chance. But then, Nia, get the back of the line too, girl. Because, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? I want a match too. No, you fucking don't. You want to go to take your ass to fucking Raw and go for that other fucking title. You don't want to go for the fucking title with Tiffany. Fuck that shit. You're done with that. Done. Dunzo. Please stop it. Fuck. Like, goddamn. Nia Jax could do wonders and do insane heel work with a bunch of the baby faces on Raw. Please send her to Raw. Have her be part of the Fatal 4-Way. Have her be part of the Triple Threat match with someone. I don't care. Just have Nia Jax just do something different. And this leads to the booking that I want and the booking that I would love to see. So I think they're going to do a Fatal 4-Way match again for the world title. They're going to have Stephanie Vaquer. They're going to have Io Sky. And they're going to have Rhea Ripley. They're going to have those three names for sure. What I think, and the two names can interchange, is Nia Jax, obviously. She can do like a change to Monday Night Raw. Hopefully soon, hopefully fast, hhopefully a match with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax isn't fucking booked, because I don't want to see that again. Do Jade and Tiffany if you're going to do a match. Even leave Tiffany off the card and have her give her a little bit of a break, please. Have Nia Jax go to Raw and have Nia Jax be part of the Fatal 4-Way match. And it would be a really great way to introduce like maybe another Io Sky championship run where she actually fucking defends the champion. But also it would be great to see Nia Jax kind of like be a dominant heel on Raw once again. It would be fantastic. It would be great. But you can also replace Nia Jax with an Asuka, which I would prefer to see. I would prefer to see Asuka versus Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky. The reasoning is Stephanie's already taken care of, so we don't have to worry about her connecting to the story for that championship match. But on Monday Night Raw, we had Rhea Ripley come out and save Io Sky because Io Sky was getting beat up. And then like they had a backstage segment where they were talking, thanking each other or whatever. And then like Asuka comes out of nowhere and says, hey, you know, she's my friend, whatever, fuck. And then Rhea says, well, you're not doing anything. You just stayed back here. I just stayed out and I did your job for you. And then Asuka says, well, she told me to stay out of the business, so that's what I'm doing. So obviously they're building conflict between Io Sky and Asuka. And if you really wanted to, you could have a heel Asuka win the fucking title there, have an insane match with Io Sky, have an insane trilogy with Io Sky, and maybe even have Io Sky be put over the end of the trilogy. But if you really want to have Asuka have one final run, have her be a fucking heel, have her turn heel against Io Sky, have her be a brutal fucking heel, and have her win the title. That's in my opinion, that's the best booking that could happen. That's the best booking. That being said, please like, subscribe, please send this video to a bunch of people. Love you guys, and have a great rest of your day.